Hi, Helen from crystalsandcrochet.com here, and welcome to part 4 of Winnie's Wonder, our crochet along for 2024. Okay, it's a fairly simple part. We are going to fill in all the gaps between the points, and at the end of this part you will have the perfect size for a baby blanket. Okay, in double knitting yarn with a 4mm hook, your work will measure 36 inches edge to edge. Okay, so again, don't forget to download the PDF so that you've got all of the stitch counts, etc. you need, and I hope you enjoy this part. Round 45. Okay, we are going to join with a standing single crochet in the last stitch of any side. Let me just come in a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, in the chain 2 corner space, single crochet, chain 2 and single crochet. Now the next few rounds are all worked in the same colour. However, if you do want to change colours, then you can just sort of join to your standing stitch, fasten off and start with a new colour. But the pattern is written to continue. Okay, we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so we've got one single crochet left there, and then for our repeat we're going to skip that next stitch and we are going to back post single around the next 13 stitches. So make sure that you come below that third loop. Little bit tricky just on that first stitch. Okay, but back post single around 13. And that takes us all the way up to our chain 1 space. We're then going to chain 1. We're going to skip that chain 1 space and back post single around the next 13 stitches, which brings us down to the bottom of the point. Okay, so we've got a back post single around that last back post double, skip the next stitch and single crochet in the next 3. Okay, you're going to do that, let's come out a little bit. You're going to do that 5 times, okay? And once you've finished your 5th repeat, that will bring you to here, okay? You'll have 3 stitches left at the end of the side. Single crochet in each of those. Okay, so your corner is single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. You're then going to single in the next 6. Skip 1, back post single around 13, chain 1 and skip the chain 1 space, back post single around the next 13, skip that first single crochet in 3. Okay, so you've got 3 single crochet in between each of the points, and then you've got your corners plus 6 after the corner, 6 before the corner. Okay, all the way round and join to that standing single crochet with a slip stitch. Round 46. Okay, we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch and into chain 2 corner space. Okay, we're then going to make a beginning 3 treble cluster. So to make a beginning 3 treble cluster, we're going to start with a chain 3, and that counts as our first partial treble. Yarn over twice, and through 2 loops twice. 1, 2 times. Okay, that effectively gives us 3 partial trebles, so we're going to yarn over, pull through all the loops. Okay, we're then going to chain 2, 3 treble cluster, 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1. Okay, let's move our corner marker up. Righto. Get everything nice and straight. Okay, we are then going to make a 3 treble cluster in the next stitch. So make sure you pull that corner group over so that you can clearly see that first stitch. Okay, and also make sure that you don't forget to make the chain 1 as part of the corner group. Oops, missed a loop. There we go. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and 3 treble cluster in the next stitch, and we're going to do that 3 times. Okay, so where are we? This chain 1 is part of the corner group. We'll then make a 3 treble cluster into that first stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, 3 treble cluster in the next stitch, 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, we're then going to chain 1 and skip the next 3 stitches. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and we're then going to single crochet in the next 8 stitches. Okay, so we've got 2 stitches left here before our chain 1 space. So we're going to make 2 single crochet in that next stitch, single in the next stitch, single into the chain 1 space, single in the next stitch, 2 single in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next 8 stitches. Okay, that brings us down towards the bottom. We've got 3 stitches left there. Okay, we are going to chain 1, skip those next 3 stitches, 3 treble cluster in the next stitch, which is the first of our 3 single crochet. Oops. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, 3 treble cluster in the next stitch. Okay, so that's the third of those 3 single crochet. Okay, so our repeat starts chain 1, skip the next 3 stitches. We're going to single in 8, 2 in the next one, single in that last stitch into the chain 1 space and in the first stitch of the next side, 2 single in the next, 8 single crochet coming down, chain 1, skip those next 3 stitches. You're then going to 3 treble cluster into the first single crochet, chain 1, skip the second, 3 treble cluster into that third single crochet. Okay, so don't forget your chain ones before you go into your single crochets and after there. Okay, you're going to do that 5 times. Okay, I will come back to you once I've worked along towards the end, because I just want to go over what the other corners are going to look like, because they're going to be very, very slightly different to this first one. Okay, so our 5th repeat ends at this point where we've made 2 clusters the same as we made in between each of the points. Okay, we're then going to match with the other end. So it's chain 1, skip the next stitch, cluster in the next stitch, and we're going to do that twice, which brings us to our cluster in the last stitch there. Then our corner group starts with a chain 1. We've then got a 3 treble cluster into the chain 2 space, chain 2, 3 treble cluster, and then another chain 1, and then you start the next side with that cluster in that very first stitch. Okay, so your corner group is chain 1, 3 treble cluster, chain 2, 3 treble cluster, chain 1. Okay, so all the way round. When you get right back to this side and you've made your last cluster here in this last stitch, you will need to chain 1 before you add to that beginning cluster. Okay, so after the last cluster here, chain 1 and join to the beginning cluster with a slip stitch. Okay, round 47. Okay, slip stitch into the chain 2 corner space, and then we are going to make a beginning 3 treble cluster again. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That counts as our first partial treble. Through 2 loops twice, through 2 loops twice, and then through all of the loops. Okay, chain 2, and then another 3 treble cluster in the same space. 2 and 3. Okay, let's move our corner marker up. Okay, and we are then going to chain 1, skip the next stitch and make a 3 treble cluster in the next chain 1 space. Okay, and we're going to do that 5 times. Okay, so that 5th repeat brings us to a 3 treble cluster into that last chain 1 space. Okay, and then our repeat. Chain 1. Okay, now be careful, you're going to skip the next 3 stitches, but be careful that you don't skip an extra one. So if you need to, just pull that cluster over slightly so that you can clearly see you're skipping 1, 2, 3. You're then going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. 3, whoops, 4 and 5. Okay, 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so that increase falls into the first single crochet of that increase there. Okay, so 5 single crochet, 2 in the next stitch twice. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So our next increase comes into the second single crochet of that previous increase, and we're then going to single crochet in 5 again, 3, 4 and 5, which leaves us with 3 single crochet at this end. Okay, so as you work over your points, you've got a chain 1 and skip 3, single in 5, 2 in the next, single in 5, 2 in the next, single in 5. Okay, and you can see where we're starting to square off the top of this point. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1, skip the next 3 stitches, 3 treble cluster in the chain 1 space, chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and we're going to do that twice. Okay, so we've done 3 treble cluster in the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip the next stitch twice, and then you'll make another 3 treble cluster into that last chain 1 space before you start your repeat again. Okay, so 5 times will bring us, this is the last, hang on, let's just zoom, oops, wrong way, sorry, zoom out a bit. Okay, so the 5th repeat will bring you to this point. Okay, so you'll chain 1, skip chain 1, skip 3, and you'll then make clusters in the 3 chain 1 spaces exactly the same as in between the point groups. Okay, so that will bring you to this point. You'll then need to chain 1, skip the next stitch, cluster in the next chain 1 space twice. Okay, 1, 2, chain 1, skip that last stitch, and then your corners are 3 treble cluster, chain 2, 3 treble cluster. So this time all of your clusters are worked into the chain 1 spaces, and you have a chain 1 and skip a stitch above each of the clusters, and then your point as I've already explained. Okay, so again all the way round and join to that beginning 3 treble cluster with a slip stitch.